After 7 takes of trying to get this podcast started.
Take 4.
Take 5.
They won't be able to hear it, surely. It's add-on.
After 4 times of trying to get this podcast started. This is In the World Not of It podcast, brought to you by number 1, Siddons.
Number 2, Lane.
Number 3, Matt.
Number 4, Lincoln. Anyway, welcome back to the podcast. Today is episode 39. We're closer to 40.
I didn't mean that as I'm number 1, by the way. I thought of that as soon as I said it. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, episode 39. So,
My bad.
episode 39.
doing that a lot,
We're very
I'm
close to
sorry.
40. This is...
Episode 41 is going to be insane.
We should be at like 70.
Yeah, it happens.
But
But
it is what it is.
what episode of the... This is Fruits of the Spirit. Episode, what, 5? 6? 6?
7?
Shut up. But anyway, episode... Yeah, shout out to him. But this is the 6th episode of the Fruits of the Spirit where we look at Galatians 5:22 and 23. And we go through each one and apply it to life, to the Bible, to Christ, and to ourselves. And hopefully to you too. First off, the socials. Obviously, I say this every episode. But TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Instagram, YouTube, whatever.
TikTok.
I think I said one twice. But anyway, also shout out.
We are not on SoundCloud.
We're not on
Say it every
SoundCloud.
week.
Also, just quick reminder, because I low-key forgot this myself. We post on Fridays now. So
Film on Wednesdays. Or whenever. We film whenever we want to.
we film just about. We try and film at least.
That was a joke.
A lot of
I'm
things
sorry.
happen. But yeah, we post on Fridays now. So go check that out. And then now we'll start back where.
Didn't even shout out Natural Outdoors.
Shout out Natural Outdoors.
Yeah, shout out
Go
Natural
follow.
Outdoors.
Love what they
Subscribe.
doing. Love the message they're spreading.
Thanks.
And,
Natural
hold
Outdoors,
on.
to the owner of that, we need you to we don't know if you actually pay attention to our episodes. So if you're watching this and you got to this part, I need you to come up to one of us. Actually, text all of us. Is that what you
Aldi's.
said?
Text all of us at
Aldi's.
Aldi.
Text us Aldi's.
AL.
And if you don't, we're never going to shout you out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the store.
And
Yeah, shout out
and
grocery
Natural
store.
Outdoors brother, don't tell them.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now
Okay.
we can go to Galatians 5:22 and 23.
22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control.
So we're on 5.
Against such things there is no law.
This is actually episode 5 of the...
No, it's not, because we skipped to faithfulness.
We did? Okay, never mind. This is episode 6. Anyway. You said you had notes. And you started
I
us
was going to let you start.
quick.
You said you were going to rant.
Yeah, you're going to start.
No, I ain't ranting. Not
Mine's
yet.
not starter notes today, Big Doug.
What do you mean it's not starter notes?
I'm supposed to add on. Mine are not starter. I made all my other ones starter. I know I was going to have the voice and I made this last Wednesday. Or,
Bro, just tell us what you got. I ain't got nothing good.
yeah, you start.
Okay. Like I said, it's about kindness. Being kind is something that all humans, not like just Christians, have like been put in our heads since day one of like us being on this planet. Because the golden rule that we learned as kids comes from the Bible. In Luke 6:31, treat others how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with kindness, be kind. If you want to be treated with love, love others. If you want to be hateful, you're going to receive hate. You'll get what you give, and you reap what you sow. So, be kind to others because it's beneficial to you and also beneficial to other people. And if I can flip here real quick. I'm in the wrong chapter. I was in the wrong book. I just can't get to the page. Sorry. Proverbs 11:17. A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. It costs nothing to be kind and be a good person. And because Jesus showed kindness to all of us on the cross and also just the way that he lived his life, he didn't
Nice one.
show hate to anybody. He was kind to everyone. He showed love to people regardless of their their race, their gender, their wealth, their if they were disabled, if they were fully able. Instead, he showed them love, and that's his greatest commandment for us as Christians, is to love others regardless of who they are, where they come from, just anything about them. Because if we don't show love and instead we show hate, that's what we're going to get back. Jesus even showed love to the people that did him wrong. He, in the same way that we need to, he tells us to show love to our enemies, and that's going to be something hard to do. But if we love Jesus, we also have to be able to love Judas at the end of the day, because everyone deserves Jesus' love just as much as we do, and there's nothing that we can do that can take God's love away from them. So why shouldn't we reflect that love of God that we know onto others?
See, that's what I was going to talk about. My verse today stems off of, because like I said, I didn't know how much I was going to be able to actually talk, of, bet we've never had one out of here, Zechariah 7, 9-10.
All right.
And it says, I'm going to skip the first part because it's just kind of, but judge fairly and show mercy and kindness to one another. Do not oppress widows, orphans, foreigners, and the poor. Do not scheme against each other. That's what the Lord of Heaven's armies commands. And it's translated a little bit differently because it's talking about widows. It only lists a couple examples. Basically, what Matthew said, it's stemming off of that, is that you show love, kindness to everyone, regardless of their gender, race, beliefs. That's what we're called to do. And I think, especially in today's world, there's a lot of hate for any group. You can choose anything, you're gonna get hate for it. That's how it is. That's how it's always gonna be too. There's never gonna be one like group of people or one group of thing that's 100% right and just loved. But as long as you can show kindness to everyone and show mercy to everyone, as the Lord calls us to, you'll be all right. Like I said, kindness is free.
Yeah, I love that. Kindness is free. It costs nothing just to be kind to somebody. But when we talk about like treating others how you want to be treated, there's a story that came to my mind, and it's in the Bible. I can't quote where it's from or where it's at, but it's a story about a woman who was doing wrong, and these people had called her out on it and brought her to Jesus. Adultery, yeah. They were going to stone her. And Jesus said, okay, we can stone her, but y'all, whoever has never sinned or never done anything wrong, pick up the first stone. And nobody could pick up a stone because they'd all done something wrong. So I guess that also kind of proves that all sin is equal. But
That is true.
Another thing to point out in that story, Jesus could have picked up the stone, but he didn't.
Oh yeah, he couldn't he?
But he chose not to.
My turn.
I'll do it.
Okay, but y'all get the point what I was saying.
Yeah.
What if, if Jesus was, I can see him being a cool dude. He's like, all right, here we go. No, I'm joking. Toss it aside. Now what do y'all do? That would be tough. Anyway, so
That'd be tough.
it would. It'd be fun. Never mind. I'm stupid. So anyway, last week during the Bible study that we had here, a question popped into my mind, and I just now remembered it, even though it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, even though I might correlate it. So obviously we brought it up before what goes on here where we live, and there's some people that get mad about, I guess you could say, the way we portray what we're doing. Obviously, I've talked about it, and that's fine. People can have their thoughts. But last week, that Sunday, when we came back from the camp, and dude up there, I'm not going to say his name, but he was talking about his message, and a question popped in my mind, and I have it right here, Matthew 21, verses 12, but obviously Matthew, Mark, Luke, and I don't think John does, but don't they kind of retell the same stories in a different way?
Yes.
Okay, so you can find it in other verses, but Jesus goes and crashes the temple, right? What is the line, if there is one, what's the line between righteous anger and accountability? Holding people accountable or just being angry about their ways? Because, the stuff that we have going on here, when you try to talk it out with like someone about what's going on, and we're doing this trying to help, I hope, I hope I am. I think I am. But then again, I don't know myself as well as God does. But when you try and help, sometimes it's like you hear this and you just want to get mad. But that wouldn't be a good response, obviously. So is holding someone accountable, does that kind of hold hands with a righteous anger with somebody continuing to do something when you're trying to help them and then like they just don't see the vision? Does that make sense? What's your all's thoughts on that? Because I was thinking about that last Sunday.
A little bit. What I was gonna say, because some people when they get called out or held accountable for their sin, the first thing they want to do
we
is
all sin differently.
they just want to put the blame on somebody else. That too, also. But they just want to put the blame on somebody else and take it as the person holding them accountable being hateful and being judgeful. But there's a big difference between being judgmental and holding people accountable.
Judging is a word that is brought up a lot when in this.
Because when you're judged, you're being put down by that person.
Persecuted.
When you're being
held accountable,
they're telling you because they love you and they're showing kindness to you and they want you to be better.
So how do you show that in different lights when you're saying it, when you're trying to keep someone accountable but also judging them? How do you keep it to where, is there a way to word it without them taking it as judging?
It's kind of hard to because there's a really fine line between.
Because they're just gonna say that you're judging them no matter how you put it.
Yeah.
No matter how they put it, because it makes them feel better.
Yeah, because it lifts a lot off of their shoulders. They just put everything onto you.
But how do we know we aren't deep down? That's us just judging them, trying to hide it between the mask of accountability.
You have to speak equal with them. If you speak like you're above them, like, hey, why are you doing this? You shouldn't be doing this. I never do this. You never ever make a comparison that would draw them to conclude that you are above them. You have to stay on equal terms with them. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. It's bad. We all sin. You just kind of gotta hold an equal ground with them, because the minute you get up or a little bit down, it's over. It's really hard to keep that equal ground, though.
Okay, then what would y'all say?
Well, I got something to say about the anger point.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Yesterday I was watching a video about Cliff, or it was Cliff talking.
Shout out Cliff.
And this guy was asking, how can Jesus let us be angry if it's evil? And Cliff said, well, I believe that Jesus gave us anger. And it was one of the emotions that Jesus gave us. Jesus was angry when he went into the temple and they were stealing and cheating and doing things that they shouldn't be doing in the Lord's house. Yeah. But he said he believes that the devil uses that emotion just as sadness. He uses it to give us depression and even lead to a suicide or some stupid thought that we shouldn't ever be thinking.
Yeah.
But he led it to where angry becomes something that Jesus will tempt us with to do these awful thoughts that we so call anger, that Jesus never intended us to have the anger towards. I believe that if we have something that someone is just doing that's completely against God, we should be angry about that. Not angry in the sense that like you hate them and you ought to like slaughter them. Like, that's not how it is. You hate you have anger for that because that's not right. That's how I got it from what he was saying.
All right.
So to more kind of bring it to their level and to show kindness, we need to use scripture and use the way Jesus taught to preach to them, because that's the most kind and empathetic way to do it. But still something to think about. When Jesus did it, he made a lot of people mad. He himself said he didn't come to bring peace, but he came to bring a sword. And so his word is meant to offend you. It's meant to make you feel like a horrible person.
And if it doesn't, then maybe you are a horrible person.
But you need to take the words that Jesus says and apply them to your life. And if you're offended by them, the Bible is doing its job. Because Jesus came and offended people. If he came and tried to be all friends with he was trying to be friends with everybody. But if he came to try and support the things that everyone did and to condone all the sinful actions that the Pharisees and everyone was doing, then he wouldn't have ever been crucified. He would have lived a full life. But the thing is, we're called to be separate, we're called to be different, and we're called to preach words that the world doesn't want to hear. And at the end of the day, we may suffer for it, but it's what Jesus wants us to do because that's what he did.
All right. I like that. I like it. I think I got it. But I don't really know how to lead that into kindness. I would say that
if you
have accountability, if you truly try to hold someone accountable,
Yeah, I feel like that's
I
one of
think
the
you have to realize
one of the
that's
best ways. One of the best ways you can show kindness to someone is by holding them accountable for their actions. Because if you don't hold them accountable for the wrongdoings, then they're just gonna go back and do it again. And if you know it's wrong and you're not doing anything about it, that means you want that person to go to hell. Is the Florida guy would say.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. That was a thought I had. I don't know why that popped in my brain during the Bible study, but no. I think my mic's been unplugged. Like barely. Could you hear me at the start? You could, right? Okay, never mind.
Did
We're
it
good.
click back in place?
It just barely clicked.
That's probably right.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, we're good.
Because mine does this. Listen.
Okay. That scared me for a second. I thought it was unplugged. All right, let me go back to my...
Well, like I was saying a little bit ago, we're kind because Jesus was. Because imagine how kind, like we talked about last week with patience, imagine how kind God has to be for us to do all these things separated from him and go indulge in these sinful things and just do things of the world. And the second that we turn back to him, he welcomes us back with open arms.
He is gentle with us.
Yeah.
Because that's what my Bible says. It doesn't say kindness. It says gentleness.
Why do you think that correlates so good?
I don't know. I mean,
Because when you when you say kindness, you kind of just, I guess, associate that with gentleness.
like when I looked it up the first time, it said I just looked up gentleness and it said gentleness or kindness. So I don't
I
know.
guess you're being kind to someone, also being gentle with them. Being gentle with someone.
Yeah.
I mean, do they just like?
Like
It's a
I wouldn't
synonym, I
I
think.
wouldn't like put it wrong and say like he's soft, but
No, definitely not.
soft.
he's gentle. He's merciful. Mercifulness.
But when I think of, I feel like kindness. So obviously, I grew up with superheroes. Facts. Shout out Superman. I don't know. I feel like whenever you do something, dude, like just think, whenever you do something genuinely just good for someone else, like do a kind act, does that not just like, obviously it helps them, but does that not just make your day better? Mm-hmm. But I just never understood. What did I say the other day during my devotion where it's like, show God through your words and your actions. I feel like that's the kindness you see. With how bad the world is, dude, I just don't understand why you'd waste your time trying to be like just a negative person.
It is really easy though to like.
It's
just
easy to
stay
be
negative
negative.
all the time. It's harder to be positive than it is negative because there's always a lot of more negative things to think about.
Optimistic.
And of course, like the devil doesn't want you to talk about the positive things.
Yeah, he wants you to.
And I've kind of stuck to this because I love the way it was like said. It's like the road to heaven is hell, but the road to hell is like heaven.
Yeah.
And that got brought up the other day. My dad works with a guy, and he felt like the eeriness of this guy. Like he knew there was something weird about him.
Aura.
And he looked him up on Facebook, and he was completely satanic. And like it was nothing but
I swear,
weird
I've been around
satanic
someone
stuff.
who I've known does that kind of stuff. You can just feel like a presence.
Yeah.
It's like really odd. Like there's no way to describe it. It's like, how do I explain this?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just it's just off.
feels
like a
weird,
clouds
yeah.
over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's so much easier to live that way because you're going to get told in the world we live in now every day that that's the right way, and it's fine to live that way if you want to live that way. But it's not. I mean, I guess, and God's so merciful. If you really want to go to hell, he's going to let you go to hell, and that's just literally how it is. It's up to you. It's not up to God. He wants you to be in heaven with him, of course. But
If you don't want to, I mean, he ain't gonna sit there and beg you. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna let you do what you want.
right.
But one thing I've kind of been not really battling with, I think about it a lot when I'm driving to school for some reason. Like, it'll be like the song on, or maybe I'll just like be thinking, is the constant battle between things that we see as like not really bad, but something that. So I think of this a lot. Usually, like tomorrow will, how you think of all the when you're younger. So I grew up with my brother around the entire time, and now he's not anymore because he has to go to college. I think about that a lot because it's kind of bittersweet. You know, he's going and doing his thing now. He's going to college, and that's the next step. That's all. That was always going to happen. And as much as I hate that because I want him to be there, like constantly, at the same time, you kind of realize how the negative kind of goes hand in hand with all the good memories. Because those moments where he's going and moving on in life, it doesn't feel as special without all the memories behind it, And I think about that with like school, with friends, like people I do talk to, people I don't talk to, sports, obviously,
I think about that a lot, especially now that I quit football. Like, it is bittersweet,
Yeah.
And I did it in like my little Instagram post or whatever. Like, it's not the sport that I'm gonna miss. It's gonna miss the camaraderie that I had with my friends. I got to see them every single day. Whether I looked forward to the practice or not, I knew I could at least look forward to seeing them for that extra 2 or 3 hours at the end of the day. And that was huge to be able to just to be out there because they're out there too.
Yeah.
We all hated it together.
Exactly. Like, if practice was rough, like, I'm not the only one having rough practice. It's
Yeah.
everyone out here.
Right.
But I'm thinking now, senior year and stuff, that's just how you're realizing that you can't really do nothing about time. And as much as you want to, stop it and live in the moment more, you also kind of enjoy the part that, you're constantly moving forward. Because all those days where you didn't think you could make it another second, you still kept going. And look how far you've come now. So every day when I wake up, I try to just make the most of it now. Because I know time ain't going to stop for me. Time ain't going to wait for me to catch up. But that's also the beauty of it. Because all those little moments, all those rough practices, like last Tuesday we had a rough practice. All the days where we don't want to go, where I don't want to get up and go to school and go work or whatever, it was just been a rough day. I still find the joy because, I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I think about a lot now. And some days I'm sad about it. And then some days, it just gets me fired up.
Yeah.
Like, I get to go do this. But I don't know. That's
I
where
always noticed, like, the attitude that I had going into practice was the attitude I came out with at the end of practice.
Yeah.
If I went in with a good attitude, like was fired up and ready to practice,
Yeah.
I came out with a fired up,
Yeah.
ready to practice. No matter how bad the practice or how good the practice was, my attitude changed how it was going to be.
I'm enjoying the moments more now.
That's good.
But I don't know. I feel like that has nothing to do with kindness either. That's what I'm talking about when I'm ranting. But I don't know. If you see me having a bad day or a good day, it's still the same to me. I enjoy the company now. And sometimes I just think about the people I don't talk to that much anymore. I still, though, I don't see them much, I still have the memories to hold on to. And some people that I talk to more now, maybe I have bad memories. And now I'm just glad that we grew apart from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bittersweet. It's nostalgic, but it's also optimistic to where I want the future to come faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm good with living in the moment. But anyway, that has nothing to do with kindness. But if you do find that mix where it's like, the bad days are going to happen, there's going to be trials, tribulations, bumps in the roads, but you can live through it, I feel like that gives you a better outlook on life. And when you're having a better outlook on life, you're more likely to show the kindness that God gives you. Show them through your actions, show them through your words. There's not enough time in the day, not enough time in this lifetime to be negative. And I promise you, I still have bad days all the time. But those little things you have to look forward to, the people you get to see, the people you get to talk to, all that, it means something. So don't waste it. I really wish I didn't waste a lot of time when I was younger worrying about stuff. There's stuff I still worried about until a few weeks ago that I'm just now letting off. And that's just part of it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's life. There's no clear instructions to live it. Just do your thing, dude. Just do your thing. Find the things you enjoy. And be kind.
Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
That ain't very basic, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, their
that is
instructions.
true.
It ain't basic. There's a lot of depth to that, dude.
Like we just
There's a
talked,
lot of
like
depth.
this one. You each like verse of the Bible.
Big instructions.
Every single verse of the
Yeah, that's
Bible
my
you could
bad.
do like an hour like deep dive on, pretty much.
Anyway, that had
we're
nothing to
getting-
do with it. But kindness. What
No,
I
I
have to
like
say
that. I
about
like
kindness.
that. I think it all ties back, and I like that.
It will.
That
It was
a good
worth it.
episode, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
Well,
There's no reason to have a bad day, even though it will happen. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, that's it.
see you on the flip side.
Back on 74.
Blip, blip, blip. Bloop, bleep, blop, bloop. Bloop, bleep, blop, blop, bloop.
Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
And
and
shout out
Apple
Natural
Podcasts, Amazon Music.
We are not on Spotify.
And with all this being
wait,
said,
We're not on
wait.
SoundCloud.
We are not on SoundCloud. We are on Spotify.
Love you all. Find
with all this
accountability
being
and
said,
kindness.
our Lord of Jesus Christ be with you. We love be with you all in Christ Jesus.
Amen.
Almonds.
Bye bye.
Go Thunder.